Hey, criminal justice students. It's Monday, another weekly update. Hope you're all doing well. I've had 3 policing videos posted already, so if you're doing them, some of you may have noticed that your grades have slightly improved. I've been adding points to certain assignments or tests, whatever you needed to improve your grade if you've been doing those. So, and you can still do them, by the way, hint, hint. One quick joke for you. To those of you that don't understand sarcasm, you're perfect the way you are. Anyway, other things coming up. I'm going to have a smaller or a shorter video on policing and the law that goes about how they get warrants, what they can do with warrantless searches, those kinds of things that might actually impact your real life someday. Hopefully not, but knowing the law is a big deal. Last week, I sent a letter to law enforcement officers to answer questions via video, if they can, about what life is like for them in their job. And so hopefully I'll be able to compile a video for next week on that. The next one is one for your parents to include, because I'm going to try to get you more computer games. Yes. So parents, if you're listening too, my master's is in curriculum and instruction with a focus on technology in the classroom. Now, I couple that with I've played a few computer games growing up, and I've seen what computer games can do. Yes, there's mindless ones, but there's also ones that simulate actual activities that are in real life that might be valuable. One of the examples that comes to mind is there's a game where you're a police commissioner. And so the games I'm about to recommend, they're all on what's called Steam. It's a platform like Xbox Live or the PlayStation Network. And it manages a lot of games. And most of the games I'm recommending, I think all of them are below $30, some as cheap as maybe 10 or 15. Here's a couple games. The first one is called This is the Police, and it's just that. You're a police commissioner who has to respond to different calls, whether it's a break-in or a murder or robbery in progress. You have different agents, you have different officers that you command, you have different detectives that you send out. And basically, you are going through learning people management and law enforcement at the same time. The second game I'd recommend is called Her Story. And this game is an interesting take in that all it is an investigation of a crime. And all you have are the videotapes. And as you unlock video after an interview, it opens up other videos based on the questioning you learned in the previous video. And so you're trying to get down to who do you charge and who committed the crime. That's a relatively cheap game. I think it only comes in about $5 or $6. The next game is called Prison Architect, and that's where you build and maintain a prison. There's a lot of economic planning as well as understanding how prisons work and the functions and roles, as well as the responsibilities prisons have. And so you lose points or wealth, or so you lose money and get in trouble with the state and could lose the game if too many people are getting hurt or even killed. So it makes the player try to prevent a lot of the bad things that we associate with prisons through an overly simplified process and not too graphical at all. But it is an interesting game and quite challenging at points. And I'm still thinking about ways to do better in it. And the last game, I just saw this, so I don't know if that's really that good or not. It's called Unheard. And it's basically you go to crime scenes and all you can play is the audio that you heard from that place. So all you have is the audio, and you have to go on, who is that, what's going on here, and go through the investigative process there. And another quick game, sorry I said the last one, but this is the last one now. It's called Papers, Please, and you're an immigration officer taking in people from planes, and it's set during the Cold War, and you got to tell me whether or not that person's papers are legit. Do they have a legit reason for coming to the United States or not? So that's another game. The last thing I want to do is I want to look out for you all socially and have a little fun. So on Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m., at the very least, we could probably go to 3 o'clock if you want, I'm going to play a game called Drawful 2. Drawful is basically a Pictionary that can be done on the phone. I've looked at a lot of aspects to these games, and all the stuff that they're doing. And one of the things most students have been missing is just that social interaction. And I kind of want to encourage that and create a safer spot for that. So that's aiming for Wednesday between 1 and 2 o'clock. Well, just a little survey out there just to make sure students are willing and see how many I can get and plan on it. So I hope and look forward to seeing some of you if that's the case. It's kind of miss teaching, and even if it's just joking around, it'd be fun. So anyway, that's the week. I hope you all are doing well. Keep it up, and I'll see you next week at the latest.